While the whole world shifts towards greener, cleaner energy sources, including natural gas, it would appear that a section of Sri Lankan society is adamantly clinging to coal. Against this backdrop, reports have come to light that attempts are afoot to grant the controversial coal tender to the same company.
Coal has been purchased on 5 separate occasions since the Norchole coal-fired power plant was commissioned. On the last purchase, the price agreed on with the supplier Swiss Singapore Pte Limited was $54.40 per metric ton of coal. 1.0647 million metric tons of coal were purchased from the company at a cost of $57.93 million. A total of 1.125 million metric tons of coal had been purchased under the spot tender system introduced during the tenure of Patali Champika Ranawaka as the Minister of Power and Energy. The cost per metric ton in this case was $49.83. The total cost was $56.08 million. The Auditor General's report notes that a sum of $4.88 million could have been saved by the state if coal was purchased at the spot tender price of $49.83 per metric ton instead of at a price of $54.40 as per the agreement with Swiss Singapore Pte Limited. Speaking to Newsfirst, Auditor General Gamini Vijayasinghe noted that the report containing the Auditor General's observations on this transaction would be submitted to the Committee on Public Enterprises in Parliament on Friday. Activists allege that plans are afoot in such a backdrop to grant the tender to Swiss Singapore Pte Limited once again.
While the Secretary of the Power and Energy Ministry, Dr. Batakoda, has evaded responding to 2 audit queries for more than 7 months with great cunning, last week they reached an agreement with the group that fraudulently secured this tender to resubmit a cabinet paper and provide the tender to the same company once again. If it so happens that the Sri Lankan government is acting to provide this fraudulent tender of the Power and Energy Ministry to the same company once again, then we will receive an assessment of the financial transparency of the good governance regime. They are disregarding the observations of the Auditor General's Department. The Auditor General's Department will submit their observations to COPE on Friday. While that investigation report has not been submitted yet, it is clear that the current government is treading the same path as the former government under the guise of good governance. The Technical Evaluation Committee, the Appeals Committee and the Supreme Court of this country have said that this process is wrong. We do not believe that Cabinet will approve this corrupt deal. While the decision of the Supreme Court and the Technical Evaluation Committee stands, the Ministry of Power and Energy is attempting to give the tender to Swiss Singapore Resources International once again. If the government gives the same company the tender once again, disregarding all criticisms and the decision of the court, then the people do not need any other example to comprehend what is happening now.
Meanwhile, the Sunday Times reported today that an independent committee appointed by the Minister of Power and Energy had found that the minister's initiative to introduce spot tenders for the procurement of coal has resulted in a saving of nearly 1.1 billion rupees. However, only a portion of the country's requirement had been purchased through spot tenders. While many countries around the world are moving away from coal, why does Sri Lanka adamantly cling to the dirty fuel?
We have submitted projects on this matter. If we have visionary progressive leaders, then would they double the tax on electric vehicles? Wouldn't they instead invite a company to manufacture electric cars in Sri Lanka? We do not have such progressive leaders in Sri Lanka. They are not progressive. Neither do they want to progress. Their only purpose is to deceive us. Whenever they open their mouths, all we hear are lies. Professionals have not been deceived. Professionals have said clearly that solar power is a viable alternative.